Hello everyone, here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, November 24th. It's pretty unsettled all the way through the holiday week here coming up. We do have a front and some showers coming through for today over our area. A lot of those areas seeing gusts over 35 miles per hour where we will see the strongest gusts. There will be some showers around this evening. Most of us will see any precipitation falling in the mountains. There could be a few sprinkles, very light showers over the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley and other valley locations today, but not much expected anywhere. We do have a ridge kind of moving over us the next few days. It takes us through at least Thanksgiving. It's not going to be a dry pattern, unfortunately. It does warm up a little bit, but system coming through over the weekend. This may be the coldest air we've seen for this fall across our area, and talking about maybe not getting above freezing for most areas by the end of the weekend. Our best risk today, our highest risk today for any issues will be with the winds across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley. Those higher profile vehicles, maybe a little bit of blowing dust around. We haven't had a ton of moisture around lately, but maybe enough to keep things at bay. Otherwise, some very minor impacts over the highlands where we might have a little bit of snow over the passes this morning, and that basically trend continues with some light showers over the area all the way through, again, Thanksgiving. Maybe a few more impacts on Friday, and certainly those bigger impacts coming over the weekend. Satellite showing some clouds moving through the area this morning, but our low area of low pressure is just off to our west, I should say along the coast anyway. That swings past us later on today. A lot of us, like I said, not seeing moisture, but a lot of us going to see some wind across the area for today. Looking at how things go through the rest of the day, you'll notice we have most of the showers early this morning into the central mountains and up around Island Park. Maybe a few sprinkles or very light showers off farther along the I-15 corridor back towards Pomerelle, Malta, and that direction as well. As we go through the rest of the morning, that band kind of increases a little bit, shifts to the east. Meanwhile, we have our next area, a couple of bands coming through with that wave. We have a little bit of shower activity developing late this morning and this afternoon along the bench areas from the Teton Valley all the way south of Burley. And this is kind of showery, so what we may be looking at, especially when we get to some of the moisture amounts, might be on the heavy side, heavy-handed with the showers. It's just really hard to fit into a gridded forecast, our type of forecast, what we do. The shower, just the intent in the intensity of the showers, the aerial coverage of any showers across our area. But you'll notice that band shifts off into the southern and eastern highlands during the afternoon. We have a secondary band with the kind of, I guess, maybe the frontal system, the last frontal system. We kind of had a couple little front wind passages coming through with this system last night and today, into later on today as well. That band of moisture kind of hangs around Rexburg over towards the Teton Valley late this afternoon into this evening. But then we kind of dry out for the rest of the night, and not expecting much going on across our area at that particular point. We're dry until tomorrow night into Wednesday and Thanksgiving, and like I said, beyond, maybe just some light moisture like we were talking about. So for today, temperatures in the 30s and 40s, upper 30s to a few upper 40s around for afternoon highs in the valleys. Once you get over into the Treasure Valley, we'll start to finally see some 50s for the highs this afternoon. Now, here comes the wind. The central mountains this morning, and then to some extent late morning into the afternoon over the Snake Plain, some gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour. But you'll notice they really pick up into the afternoon and evening. Some of the higher peaks over in the central mountains topping out over 40 at times. We're going to see some gusts, especially over portions of the Magic Valley, Snake Plain, over towards Driggs, the higher elevations of the Big Holes, that area, over into the along the Wyoming border. Some of these gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour this afternoon. Precipitation amounts, you don't see a lot going on outside of the central mountains and the eastern highlands. Maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch in a few spots, especially over into the Tetons. The Sawtooth surrounding ranges, that's the highest we should see in the central mountains, except once you get up towards Lost Trail Pass, a quarter to a half an inch. That's whether it's rain or taking some what snow and falls and melting it and getting a little bit of a water equivalent, a water measurement out of that, if you will. Light snow amounts, even Galena Summit, not seeing much again. The spine of the Sawtooth for today, seeing a couple of inches of snow. at best. For the southeast highlands, very limited amount of snowfall today. Snow levels between 5,000 and 6,500 feet, depending where you are on today, ahead of the colder air filtering in tonight. You can see once you get into the big holes, maybe an inch, and then certainly some higher amounts on the south end of the Tetons throughout the daytime hours today. You'll notice that those higher amounts, we could see 4 to 6 inches on the higher peaks of the Tetons today, and up around Lost Trail Pass, 3 to 6 inches of snow possible. And certainly once you get off to the north and west from there, we could see some higher amounts of snowfall moving into cross portions of western Montana into the Idaho Panhandle. For tonight, it's going to be a pretty chilly night into the teens and 20s, or cold spots around 0 to 10 degrees above zero for temperatures by the time you get up tomorrow morning. Those gusts into the evening hours, still some 40 to 45, maybe a couple of gusts over 50 miles per hour, but you'll notice those winds those are the evening hours. You get to 8 or 9 o'clock, those winds are pretty much gone across the area. And precipitation amounts tonight will be very, very light. Anything over a hundredth is basically around the Teton Valley, the big holes, over into western Wyoming. Snowfall amounts, very, very light snow if we can get anything out of it this evening into the overnight hours, and the same up through the Island Park area. Once you get into the Tetons, maybe another inch or two. And again, this is showers, not widespread snow, so not everyone's going to see what we're exactly depicting here on the map in those particular areas. For tomorrow afternoon, it is cooler across the area. Temperatures in the 30s, some low 40s once you get to around Burley, Oakley, mid-40s once you get over into the Treasure Valley, 36 in Chalice, not even above 40 up in the Salmon area as well. That's for Tuesday afternoon. So some colder air briefly behind this system. Going into Wednesday, we do warm up a few degrees. We'll see some 40s, mid-40s to low 50s once you get from Pocatello south and westward in the lower elevations. 30s and 40s elsewhere after morning lows Wednesday morning in the teens and 20s. Some places 25 to 30 degrees. For Thanksgiving, temperatures do continue to warm up a bit across the area. Some more 50s returning. Not many areas in the lower elevations with highs in the 30s. We'll see more 40s for highs on Thanksgiving. What we're not showing you is there's moisture continuing across the area Wednesday into Thursday. It's light, and with this northwest flow before the ridge kind of shifts over us, where the usual areas that we see precipitation following this pattern, the Sawtooth, the surrounding higher elevations, the eastern highlands, especially areas adjacent to the Wyoming border, the Tetons, Yellowstone Park, maybe up around Sawtell Peak. But these are in light amounts. They're not necessarily worth showing at this point on the map. They're not going to be impacting us really at all across the area. There's not going to be much wind. It's not until we get to the weekend. We're going to skip ahead to Sunday, simply because temperatures will get colder each day. So by Sunday, overnight lows. Some areas down near zero, otherwise mostly single digits and teens over the area. This is Saturday night and Sunday morning. And very few spots above freezing for afternoon highs. That's afternoon highs on Sunday. It's been a while since we've seen high temperatures barely eking out above freezing anywhere. 32, 33 degrees over the Magic Valley, mid-30s once you finally get over into the Treasure Valley and back over to the Boise area as well. Everyone have a great Monday, and do stay safe out there, everyone.